down 2 players. Wide receiver Dontavian Wicks was out with a calf injury, and Marshawn Lloyd, who left practice yesterday, was out due to a groin injury. Head coach Matt LaFleur spoke with the media today about Lloyd and said that he was playing well before the injury.
Kind of working through it right now, but it's unfortunate. He was doing great. It's just, you'd like to have him out there. He's a guy that needs that experience, and unfortunately has had to fight through a lot of adversity.
To stay up to date on Wicks, Lloyd, and all things Green and Gold training camp, check out Rob Demoski over at ESPNWisconsin.com. The Milwaukee Brewers are back on top after taking down the Chicago Cubs yesterday, 8-4 in come-from-behind fashion. Game 2 of Brewers-Cubs is tonight at 6:40 p.m. with pregame coverage starting at 6 right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
About each other.
I know that Andrew Vaughn had a nice game yesterday.
And a fly ball left center field. This is well struck. This is gone! Andrew Vaughn!
He is a negative 1.7 WAR player so far this year.
His WAR for the Brewers is 0.2. Just saying. It's a new era.
Look, Matt, he sucks. If you want to ride on die
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio alongside Molly Brown, and Chrissy Birdsall is with me as well. Primetime War Shine behind the glass. I am on the YouTube stream along with Molly Brown. I am in my Wisconsin Badgers hat. I was in a golf outing at U Ridge today. It was a good time with Badger Sports Properties. And I'm rocking my Coors Light shirt as well. And thankfully I did, because it was hot today. But not as hot as it was yesterday at the Cubs versus Brewers game. And I'm going to get this out of the way right now. And I haven't been to every stadium in the heat, but don't go to AmFam when it's hot.
It's damn hot.
Why is that?
For some reason, I thought they had air conditioning or could at least blow somewhat of controlled air that's not.
Well,
they don't.
I thought they did too.
They do not. And having the stadium open when there's no airflow, like I think I've seen some newer stadiums where you can open up some of the sides of the stadium so you can get some cross breeze going along. Ooh, it was hot. It was hot to start. It was hot. We skipped tailgating, one, because traffic was horrendous, but two, my wife was smart and said, we're in a basically treeless parking lot, and it's going to be 90 degrees, blacktop. So we punted on that idea pretty early. But here's how hot it was. When I went and got food, like the girls and everyone was kind of managing it, but when I went and got burgers for everyone there and some French fries, everyone basically was ready to go after that. Like they went to they kind of hid up, where, some of the concessions are. Then they, my wife smartly took them to like the bathroom and put some sort of took some paper towels, put it on the girls, and just cooled them off there. It was actually a funny moment. My brother bought some Coors Light, and he was trying to be nice and kind of just put it on Rosie, and it looked like he was handing it to her.
Oh my gosh!
Because he was trying to put it on her neck, whatever, to cool her off. But it looked like he was just handing her a beer. I'm like, sure, why not? Give her a Coors, see what happens. No, I'm kidding. So it was just kind of funny. My wife's like, what is happening?
Keep her hydrated.
And it was to cool her down. So there were moments where I would take the Coors Light and put it on Nolo sit next to me and put it on her neck and everything. So
when the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
Goodness, I'll tell you what. Like I said before, AmFam's got some positives, but being in a McMansion when the ace, just imagine being in a McMansion when the air goes.
Wait, a McMansion?
Yeah, they're
define that for me.
They're kind of known as like
cookie cutter,
nice house, but it's not really. There's no ambiance. There's no character to it.
Okay.
But again, it's still a It's still a mansion, but it's like a McMansion.
So it's like a mansion, like a McDonald's, where it's all the same. It's all just cookie cutter, like you said, formulaic.
Think of houses by like a golf courses. I don't want to call it a specific golf course in the town I live in, but like there's McMansions that surround that, where it's like, yeah, that house is super nice, but there's a house right next to you, so you have like the same amount of acreage as I have, and all the houses look the same. And then if you talk to like, I won't name names, but if you talk to people in business, they'll be like, the quality isn't really there either. They just look nice. So AmFam, it's great when it's raining, when it's cold, but when it's hot.
In like September and May, it is one of the best places to be.
Yeah, or like if it's like 70, like do they? Yeah, no, not today. Tomorrow could be really nice.
Today's damn hot, too.
Yeah, 78, I think, is the high tomorrow. So tomorrow could be great with the roof open, but you get over 90, pass. Like, I know Wrigley, you're not that far from the water. It's open air, so the breeze can kind of come through. And once it gets dark, it obviously a lot nicer. So one of those rare times where I did not have a great experience at AmFam because it was so hot.
Was it sunny on you? Were you in the shade?
We were in the shade. It didn't matter. It's just...
It was muggy. It was gross.
It was muggy. There was no air moving at all. That was the biggest thing. It was just like being in a sauna. There was no moving air. It's damn hot. Honestly, I think it affected the play. I mean, you saw Miz and Boyd both struggle to start, and they both had kind of suspect first innings.
Yep.
Miz worse than Boyd's, obviously.
40 pitches, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 pitches and 2 errors pretty much in the first inning.
Yeah, and so tweet of the day from Marquee, who trolled Marquee
Sports Network.
Marquee Sports Network that trolled Miz with his errant throw to first base that he was looking like Jordan Love out there. A couple other notes from the game. I'll be honest, all passion I had for the game was removed when I saw that Rhino died. Ryan Sandberg. My wife was wearing a Ryan Sandberg. I bought her a Cubs shirt to wear a while ago when we go to certain things, and it was a Ryan Sandberg shirt. Ryan Sandberg was one of my childhood heroes as a Cubs fan, so that was a real bummer. Weirdly, on the way in, my wife's like, whose shirt am I wearing anyways, or who's on my shirt? I'm like, it's Ryan Sandberg. He's, I think, kind of in the DL, like on hospice care, because a lot of players were kind of talking about him in a like basically in a tone that was kind of like, hey, he might not be around longer. He put out a statement saying that his battle with cancer had come back, because about a year ago he said he was cancer free. It had come back, and so that was a real downer. And then obviously the game, I guess I jinxed myself. I thought it would go quick. It was around like 8:40, and I was like, all right, 7th inning stretch and we're gone. So I didn't see anything after the 7th inning.
I was about to say that first inning was like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Especially the first half of the first inning, like 40 pitches by the Miz.
We still sat down. Like, we had a hard time getting into it because it was just hard to get into the stadium because everyone was kind of coming in at the same time, and we thought we'd miss a couple innings, and we were able to sit down while Miz was still pitching in the first.
I did see your tweet last night where you sat down and took a picture of the scoreboard with Sal Frelick coming up in the bottom of the first.
I saw ESPN Milwaukee trolled you, too.
Yes. They got nothing better to do.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on.
Jim,
What do you mean?
Stop.
I mean,
you're a Cubs fan.
Yeah, but clearly
that's part of the
point,
fun.
At the point they had trolled me, the news had already come out about Sandberg. And, I already tweeted about Sandberg.
True.
The story of yesterday's game was not the Cubs losing to the Brewers in the grand scheme of things. It's a raisin in the trail mix. Like, the Cubs, and again, most Brewer fans are pretty good about it. Some Brewers fans on X, I don't know, be better. Like, when the Cubs put out the news that Sandberg died, they were, trying to troll about the victory. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but, it's a raisin in the trail mix. The Cubs players knew, most of them before the game started, and the rest of them found out during the game. Craig Counsell knew before the game that Sandberg had passed. So, just a bummer. That's not why the Cubs lost. It's just a bummer. And, I'll tell you out there right now, no Cubs fan cares at all about losing to the Brewers yesterday. They'll care today, but Cubs fans care about losing Ryan Sandberg today. He was a baseball icon, just like when Bob Uecker passed, Brewer fans cared about feeling about Bob Uecker, not what's going on with their baseball team for a couple of days. And credit to the Milwaukee Brewers. I believe they have a moment of silence to start the game tonight. Yep. So Ryan Sandberg, what I was going to get to with that team, though, and again, 844-770-3776, Carl was talking text line, list is more. Did you grow up watching the Cubs on WGN? A lot of people did, and that team was headlined by Sandberg and Grace and Rick Sutcliffe and Sean Dunston and Andre Dawson were kind of some of the bigger names on those teams. And a lot of people in this area, because WGN was just a basic cable channel and they carried all the Cubs games. That's how people know who Harry Carey is as well. Sandberg had an impact that few players from that era did because his games aired out of your own broadcast area. Like WGN was picked up by a lot of cable channels and a lot of people saw the Cubs play and a lot of people became Cubs fans because at some point it was easier to watch the Cubs than it was the Brewers for a lot of people. So Sandberg passing really put a damper on the evening, much more than the actual Brewers beating the Cubs. We'll see. I mean, look, tonight's game matters and you got to try to stay close. But in general, it was a real bummer of a game because Sandberg was definitely one of my favorite players. So rest in peace to his family, and thanks to Tim in Oregon saying sorry for the loss. Sandberg was a shining star for the Cubs. It's a bummer. Like, it's just imagine someone you rooted for as a kid. He's only 65. I'm 45. That's 20 years from, like 20 years does not seem like enough for me. He's got grandkids, like, yeah, and he was, by all accounts, a great dude to anyone around that Cubs team, and it's a real bummer that he passed. But
he was honestly, as a Brewers fan, he was the first guy I thought of when I think of Cubs. Too. Yeah. When I think of the Chicago Cubs, it's him and Sammy Sosa for very different reasons, obviously. But growing up as a kid, like my mom, we grew up in Northeast Wisconsin. She's from Illinois. Her family is. She grew up in Southern Illinois, and she became a very big Cubs fan. And one of the jerseys in our basement that we have framed amongst multiple jerseys down there, professional ball player jerseys, we have Ryan Sandberg down there. For the longest time, the funny thing was I thought I was named after him for a long time, which is just a very odd little quirk. But his name is very specifically spelled Ryan, R-Y-N-E, which I think I found out when I was like 19. So for a long time, I assumed my mom was just such a big fan of his that she named me after him, which I was a little offended by. But learning more about him, learning that he was essentially like the Robin Yount of the Cubs.
Yep.
Like, he's one of those ball players, one of those baseball players who, like, you love to watch play and you love to watch people, like, young players emulate, which was really cool. And honestly, up until last night, I had no clue he was in poor health either. I had obviously not been paying attention as someone who doesn't pay attention to former Cubs, I suppose. But it was really, really sad to see during the middle of the game. At any point for that news to come out was terrible. And yeah, any Brewers fans who are saying like, oh, put out the real score, put out like, yes, there's no reason Cubs fans should be more worried about the result of a game last night than losing the franchise icon, like Jim said.
Yeah, it's they'll be back at it, and the players got to get back at it. Dan Stoughton did ask a question. I never understood why WGN was on all cable networks back in the day. Why would everyone in the country want access to a local Chicago station? I think it was just how cable, like back then, you needed channels. And if you read some of the stuff on ESPN and the programming ESPN put on, a lot of it was reruns and weird softball tournaments and sailing tournaments because you needed to fill the content.
There's a lot of ESPN 8 the Ocho back then.
Yes, but there was only one ESPN station, but they couldn't fill it. But WGN as well. Like when they created these cable bundles, you needed channels, and WGN had a channel that could fill. And Chicago is a major market, and even back then, think about it now that there's back then CNN, all those weren't really around. They really blew up with O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
And so before that, like, hey, the best way to get some sort of look in the national news would be Chicago's news. Like, yeah. I mean, it's a major city, at least, especially if you're in the Midwest. Like, if you were going to get back in the 80s and 90s news, you'd want news from the one beacon major city in your area, which would be Chicago, and then you go New York, L.A., however you wanted to do that. Tim in Oregon says you always could get a Cubs game, which was wild. Molly, is there any player that you've kind of, like, I don't know, grew up with or your family or kind of passed down generationally like a Sandberg?
I'm trying to think, like, what comes to mind. I really don't know. I mean, this is bad. I really don't know if I have any, like, off the top of my head. I know that whenever something happens, and like my dad finds out, he's always like, oh no, and like I know the emotion, but honestly, like, there's not one that comes to my mind right now. I think I'll have to think about it. But
I would say for your family, like growing up with your kids who are Vikings fans, unfortunately for them, but I think with your husband being such a Vikings fan, I think for them one day, like, Justin Jefferson will be that guy.
Oh, for sure. Like, there's a million players I could list that I'm like I do think about it now, especially when you see younger people die. They're like, oh my God, they're only like a couple years older than me. I'm like, oh damn, that's gonna be crazy when blank person
Yeah, 844-770-3776. That's Carl's Talking text line. List is more. It's not going to be
Reggie White. I remember that was devastating.
Okay, yeah. So
that's one that comes to my mind.
Yep.
Whether it's childhood heroes or people that were famous that did impact you. And I'm saying that full disclosure, like Ryan Sandberg, didn't have a down day today because Ryan Sandberg passed away. It just took away all the excitement or all the juice around that game. And then you see all the stuff today, and it's kind of a bummer. Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
that hit hard. His daughter being involved, the way it happened.
Terrible.
That one was difficult. We don't know these people, but you don't need to put people on pedestals. Nobody's perfect. You don't have to expect people to be perfect. And as long as they're not pretending to be perfect, Aaron Rodgers, then I'm fine with saying hey, they're not Superman. They're not infallible, but at the same time, you can still have an emotional connection to them.
I mean, they're the people who you grow up with at the end of the day. They're the people who are in your life, whether they know it or not. They're part of how you come up and how you form your personality. It's a big thing when somebody like that passes away.
And the good ones know that there is that connection. Robin Madison says Hugh Hefner, but look for Rob for the comic relief there. 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. List is more. Reggie White is a good one. That one I think impacted a lot of people because he was still pretty young too.
Totally.
I think the age part of it will kind of add to it as well. You see Ozzy Osbourne, you're okay, 76 with the rock style lifestyle. I mean, it's still pretty young. It's only 11 years older than Sandberg, but it's still it feels a little different. It's when the guys kind of die and surprise you with it is usually pretty sad. Reggie White, I maybe he's in his 50s when that happened. I feel like he wasn't that old.
I believe he was upper 50s. Yeah, it was very surprising to a lot of Packers fans.
Someone brought up Rashaan Salam.
Rashaan Salam, yeah.
Yes, he passed away as well.
Reggie White was 43.
Yeah, so.
Wow, really?
Jeez.
But even Malcolm Jamal Warner, the actor from the Cosby Show, the one that played Theo, he passed away last week. He was, I think, 55. He was swimming on vacation and drowned. So
that's how he died?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So, there are just some people, different, obviously age is a part of it, but 844-770-3776. We'll talk some Packers today. We got some Brewers. We're going to change the topic. We're going to talk David Kaplan. I will say that we will talk some Sandberg with David Kaplan because he's going to have some good stories there. And I just think, just like a Robin Yount, just like Bob Uecker, Sandberg's one of those players that do kind of cross the battle lines, players you just have respect for. I don't like Ryan Braun or Christian Yelich, but a Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder, I'm not talking about anything. I just always will have respect for Prince. I'm not talking about something bad happening to them. Ricky Weeks. There are plenty of Brewer players that I'm no, this guy, Ben Sheets. Plenty of Brewer players where I love the way they play. I love the way they interacted. I love the way they carry themselves. And even as a fan, now Sheets was kind of borderline. And Yount, I was a fan of. I was a Brewers fan growing up. Paul Molitor, Jim Gantner, all those guys. I said this yesterday with you, the Brewers. I didn't flip. The Brewers flipped on me. I was in I was a Cubs fan.
Judgmental Jim.
Last little origin story of this little part of it. Blame the Brewers and blame Bud Selig for being cheap, not wanting to pay a DH. My dad and my brother are White Sox fans, and my brother's also a Brewers fan. And I was like, you know what? I'm a Bears fan growing up. I'm a Bulls fan. I like the Bucks as well, but more of a Bulls fan growing up. And then I was like, well, I'll just be a Cubs fan. They're on TV all the time.
Yep.
And they're in the National League. So then I can root for the Brewers and I can root for the Cubs. And if they play each other in the World Series, I guess I'll probably pick the Cubs. But that was my reasoning.
Yeah.
I think I was 18 when they flipped. So I rooted for both teams. So again, I joke, but I'm not the only one that doesn't carry a lot of animosity because I was a Brewers fan forever. The only animosity I care for are the Brewer fans that fly the L because they're just a bunch of dorks, or Brewer fans that are still mad that Craig Counsell left.
Oh, you weren't even there when they booed him. That's unfortunate. I would have loved to hear your reaction to that.
We heard it on the outside.
Oh, okay.
I turned to my brother was like, this is kind of sad. He's like, I know it's Craig Counsell.
At this point, I feel like it's just Brewers fans trolling themselves. You know what I mean? Right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just weird.
It's weird that they're holding on to it at this point.
Because
no, but that's what I mean. Is I feel like they're maybe they actually are. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like they're not actually holding on to it. They're trolling that they're holding on to it. You know what I mean? Reverse psychology.
You hope.
I would hope. I guess.
I don't know. You got me in a pretzel.
It is kind of pretzel sound. I should have gotten a pretzel.
Pretzel with cheese sounds delicious.
Actually, I should have just gave it's just because they're 12 and 8, you can't do it. But I should have just gotten them ice cream. It would have been the better move. But they needed actual sustenance. And for the price of the burgers were expensive, but my wife's like, why'd you get them double cheeseburgers? I'm like, that's the only thing they offer. So, like, eat what you can eat. But they ate what they could. So bang for the buck was there. We're going to talk to Jason Wilde coming up next. But care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise at Canopy Wealth Management. They're independent. They're a fee-based firm specialized in customized investment portfolio management, tax-aware wealth planning, and personalized client services. They are your steward along your financial journey, from accumulation to distribution, because you deserve more than a run-of-the-mill experience. Canopy Wealth Management. Go to canopy-wealth.com. Jason Wilde next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Matt, you I don't mean this in a mean way, but you kind of look like your dog.
Moose is a handsome dog. So
you have beautiful dogs.
No offense taken. No offense taken at all.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. In fact, we are Wisconsin's only Pella Platinum Premier Certified contractor, and we've won Pella's prestigious National Contractor of the Year award 5 times. It's easy to get started. The process starts with homeowners meeting us at Siding Unlimited's amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here to tell you about the delicious Odyssey Brands, a family-owned company crafting award-winning cheese right here in Wisconsin for over 4 generations. Made with locally sourced milk, Odyssey brings bold, Greek-style flavors straight to your table. From savory, crumbly feta to rich and creamy Greek yogurt, every bite is a taste of tradition and quality. You can find Odyssey products at most major retailers nationwide and online. Odyssey, crafted in Wisconsin, loved everywhere, dairy done right.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Matt Hamilton here for Leinekugels, the craft beer that showcases a commitment to tradition and quality, founded in 1867 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. No matter where I'm at, on the ice, on my boat, or if I'm just watching the big game, I always have a Leine's in my hand. Whether it's the refreshing summer shandy, the smooth honey vice, or my personal favorite, the juicy peach, there's a delicious flavor for every moment. Pick it up wherever you get delicious beer, but remember, you gotta be 21 years or older to enjoy.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ever thought about hitting a golf ball in Camp Randall Stadium? Well, now is your chance. On August 1st and 2nd, you can enjoy a VIP experience while hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium down to custom greens on the field below. Start and end your round with great music, cold beers, food, and numerous golf challenges. Event is open to all ages, but hurry because tee times will go fast. Go to upperdeckgolf.com to book a tee time today. That's upperdeckgolf.com.
Metro Kia Madison is turning up the summer savings this month. Right now, drive home in the all-new 2026 Kia Sportage with 1.9% APR for 48 months. $2,165 cost per thousand finance. But hurry, offer ends August 4th. Plus, at Metro Kia Madison, every new Kia vehicle comes with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty and 90-day deferred payments with qualified credit. Head to Metro Kia Madison today or browse their inventory at metrokiamadison.com. That's metrokiamadison.com.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Thank you for helping me prove my point, Molly.
You're
Because
welcome.
my point. Well, is this Matt Hamilton?
Molly said it best. I said fart in the bathtub. She said gross.
Do you have a question for Jason, or how is he supposed to respond to this?
He asked the questions to me. No bad.
By hanging up.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
We are thrilled to be joined by Jason Wilde, Jim Rutledge, alongside Molly Brown. Chrissy Birdsall with me in the Everlight Solar Studio, presented by Coors Light. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass. And Jason, a couple quickies first off the Packer stuff. So I was at the Cubs game last night, and I kind of lost all interest after I found out that Ryan Sandberg passed away. Like, the game was kind of whatever, because he was one of my childhood heroes. And actually, I bought my wife a Cubs shirt to wear, like, when we go to different things. And the Cubs, on the way in, she said, "What shirt am I wearing?" And I said, "It's Ryan Sandberg. He's actually not doing well." I said, "It's on the way in," because I was like, I think he's kind of quietly in hospice care. His cancer came back. And then in the game, I showed her the tweet. And she's like, "Oh, great." I'm like, well, it shows that you're a big fan. But, like, what do you have? I don't know if there was a player that you grew up watching that, you know, their death kind of had, like, a kind of surprise and impact at it. Because the older I get, the younger 65 feels, and that's how old Ryan Sandberg was. And so it was a real bummer, and you see everyone across baseball talking about him. WGN was probably a big part of it. So I just wanted your thoughts on the attachment fans create with players, especially in that 80s, 90s era where you just didn't know as much about them.
Right, and I think that's the real point. Is look, I'm a pretty nostalgic guy. Our friend Matt Carney sings a song called "Drowning in Nostalgia." And I probably do that, right? And there's a lot of players that I feel that way about. But the number one on my list is Robin Yount, just like Ryan Sandberg was for you. And so I know this, and again, I joke about this, but it's the truth. Like, if you would have told 10-year-old me in 1982 that I would someday have Robin Yount's phone number, I would have thought that was the coolest thing ever. Yeah. And I know, you know, and look, when that player is your favorite player, you know everything about him, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, his birthday is September 16th, 1955. He's going to turn 70 in September. Like, those kinds of things, like, you just, and the one that hit me the hardest, because thankfully Robin is still with us, and I hope that he lives a long, healthy life. But when Tony Gwynn died, I felt the same way, because that was my other guy.
Yeah.
Like, he was a rookie in '83. I think was '84 the year that they played the Cubs in the NLCS, and then they went to the World Series and lost.
I believe so, yeah.
Am I remembering that correctly? And so, you know, and he was like, I patterned my batting stance after him. Like, and so when he passed away from cancer, you know, I was much older, but like you said, it hits you really hard. And so, you know, I know a lot of friends that are Cubs fans. I forgive them for that incorrect lifestyle, but it's okay. But like, Ryan Sandberg's passing hit them really hard, and I totally get it. You know, the other thing about it, to your point about WGN, like, I know far more about 80s and 90s, well, National League teams in general, because the Brewers were in the American League, but because I grew up on baseball. That was my sport. I love playing it. I love watching it. Now I don't have the patience for it. But, like, you watch the Cubs on WGN and you watch the Braves on WTBS. And maybe once in a while on cable you got the Mets on WWOR out of New York. But those were all on your cable system in the early days. And so not only did I know all these National League teams, I really knew the Braves and the Cubs, you know? Yeah. Leon Durham and Sean Dunston and that whole, you know, that era. So, and I remember, you know, I think it was Bob Costas calling the game, so it must not have been on WGN. But I remember the Ryan Sandberg game vividly. That was one of the best baseball games I've ever watched.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, that was bad, Jason. My bad. Jason, I read your story on Channel 3000 talking about Elton Jenkins and how he's decided to essentially focus on being the best player that he can be in this next season. Is there any world that the Packers do end up paying him the guaranteed money that he's asking for before the season starts?
No, unfortunately for him. I had a few people say, "Oh, Wilde, you made this all up." It was nothing. It was a big nothing burger. I got news for you. Definitely not a nothing burger.
Right.
Like, he's not happy that they didn't take care of him, but he has no choice now. Like, it's kind of like Devontae Adams in 2021 when they lowballed him with their opening offer, and he had to play out the season. And what did he go out and do? He had one of the best seasons in Packers history, caught 123 passes for 1,552 yards and 12 touchdowns or something ridiculous. He had 18 touchdowns the year before, and he got
I think maybe Jason's cutting out a little bit there.
We're losing Jason there a little bit. Apparently, the reception on his way to soccer practice isn't so great today. We'll see if we can reestablish with him, though.
Perfect. And then we can let him finish that. I do want to talk to him about Matt LaFleur getting after some of the players today as well at practice. And also, I think we get into this a little bit later as well. ESPN put out the rosters, basically, of ranking the NFL teams' talent under the age of 25.
Ooh, how many Packers are on the list?
No, it's overall roster. So the Packers went from 9th in 2024 to 23rd with no blue-chip players. A lot now, partially because Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Quay, and Rasheed Walker all are now older than 25. So that does add to it. But the interesting part is Chicago is 5th on that list with multiple blue-chip caliber players, and Detroit, number 6 on that list. So something to get back. I think Jason's back on, but we can ask Jason about that as well. But Jason, you can finish your thought on Jenkins and the long-term, I guess, repercussions from this whole this contract situation.
Yeah. So and I'm driving by. I'm on 41. I should not lose my signal on 41. The fact that he's got another year left on his deal, and the cap number he's got is $24 million. He is not going to be on this team next year with a $24 million cap number. So the Packers didn't want to guarantee that, so they have the flexibility to say, you know what, you were okay at center, but not good enough, which I don't think is going to be the case. I mean, Brian Gutekunst himself called him a all-pro center. So I've been over this ground a bunch. I don't understand it. I don't think Elton does either, but I think Elton was smart to say, look, this back injury that I came to camp with, it's there, but if it was a playoff game tomorrow, you could bet your bottom dollar I'd be playing in it. And so he just said, look, time to get to work. Like, he was doing team drills today. Like, no ramp-up time. Like, boom, he was out there. So I think he understands the situation he's in, and he's going to make the best of it. And when he says be the best player he can be, that's so he can get paid the way he deserves to be paid, is his opinion.
Yeah, and I think he deserves to get paid. He's a heck of a player. I think a lot of teams would be happy to have him, especially if he continues to show versatility along the line. I saw something today that caught my eye because in Chicago, people are very excited that Ben Johnson has come in and has held players accountable and has, day one of practice, the first-team offense was a little sloppy, and so he sent them back and brought out the second-team offense. And it sounds like today the Packers had an upset Matt LaFleur, and how out of character is that for him? I think that's the important part for this sort of thing, is that if it's in character and the players believe in it and believe that it's a real thing and believe that they're consistent, I think this sort of thing does go a long way. But if it feels fake or phony or out of the ordinary, then it can kind of have a negative effect. So what was going on in practice today, and is LaFleur letting, according to Rob Demoski, swears fly in post-practice? Is that abnormal for him?
It is, but I think what was even more important, and again, this is me and how I kind of view the importance of, and the girls get sick of me talking about this, but I could not believe in it more vehemently. The importance of connectivity and chemistry as a team and being a great teammate. And so what happened was Rasheed Walker got into it with JJ Enagbare. And at the end of the play, essentially Enagbare kind of let up, and Rasheed took him to the ground. And LaFleur was pissed.
Yeah.
And he yelled at him, swore at him, and then told him to go run a lap. So all that stuff, noteworthy, no doubt about it, right? I mean, It's great that he's showing the accountability. It's great that he's reprimanding a player. What I thought was the great part was that as Sheed started to go run, suddenly Zach Tom was there. Jordan Morgan was there. The whole offensive line ran with him. And then Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft ran with him too. And I talked to Josh Jacobs after practice, and I said, what'd you do? What was the thought process? He said, hey, man, it's all for one and one for all. And I didn't want to see him running all by himself. So I started running. It was like, if you're old enough, and I know Chrissy is not, it was like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Like where all these people start running behind him. It was really neat. And I know Sheed appreciated it, but that's, to me, and I don't think Matt LaFleur knew that was coming. I think Matt LaFleur probably is sitting there going, hey, I showed them that they need to be accountable, and at the same time, those guys came together and did something pretty cool for a teammate. So a win all around, and more importantly, J.J. Enagbare is just fine, so he's not injured.
Another story that's coming out of camp is with Nate Hobbs and his physicality. Now, I look at it, and I'm like, this is kind of nice having a player that has some juice behind him. Now, I understand there's a line you don't cross when you're on the football field. I get that when you're going against your own teammates. But, couldn't this be seen as a good thing? And I understand that Marshawn Lloyd got hurt today, or yesterday, whenever it was. I know Brian Gutekunst came out and said that it likely wasn't due to the Nate Hobbs hit. But is this being perceived as a negative thing up there, or is it a positive thing? What's the general vibe around this, Nate Hobbs and his energy?
Yes, I think it's both.
Okay.
I think they like the idea, and Goody talked about it today about we want to be a certain kind of football team, and physicality is part of that, and he thinks that's what you need to be a Super Bowl team, and so they like that. They don't like it when you're doing it to your own guys, and I spent some time with Nate yesterday after kind of the group dispersed, and I said, what's crazy about this is everybody's mad at you today, and yet if you do the exact same thing on September 7th against the Lions, they're going to love you for it. And it's true. Like he said, look, what I did was wrong. I feel horrible. I feel absolutely horrible about it. And he didn't know at that point whether he had caused the injury or not. I'm still not 100% sure that that's true, but Matt LaFleur claimed that you could see how Lloyd pulled up and he felt something go in his groin, and he didn't put his foot down again. So they think maybe it happened before the hit, but that's neither here nor there. Nate Hobbs felt terrible, and he said that was a bad thing. But on September 7th, it's going to be a real good thing. And I think that's exactly the kind of attitude that they want. That, hey, you can't do that to your own guys. If you want to do it to the other guys, go right ahead.
Yeah, and I think that's a great way to look at it. Talking with Jason Wilde here on Jim, Matt, and Molly. And ESPN came out, again, it's still quasi-list season, and this was surprising to me. And they ranked NFL team talent under the age of 25. And we hear a lot about how the Packers have consistently had the youngest team in the NFL for a couple different years. But the highest NFC North team on this list is the Chicago Bears with, 4 blue-chip players under the age of 25. And then the Detroit Lions surprised me as well. They have, I think, 7 blue-chip players under the age of 25. The Packers are 23rd on this list. They were 9th in 2024. They had a few players graduate, get older than 25, in Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Quay Walker, and Rasheed Walker. But they still list no blue-chip players under the age of 25 for the Packers. So it is surprising that the Packers do have this sort of backfill of young guys coming up, and I think Tucker Kraft and Dontavian Wicks and Golden can all possibly be there, but there's not a lot of proven players with a long track record under the age of 25 with the Packers currently.
No, there isn't. But again, that's, I think, the reality of where this team is. And I know I've said this a ton, and people are probably sick of hearing it, but this is exactly how I view this team. Like, they're not young anymore. They're young-ish, but they got plenty of experience now. all those wide receivers, the tight ends, the quarterback, the corners, the edge rushers, the linebackers. I mean, Edgerrin Cooper is he's under 25, isn't he? I can't believe he's not on the list.
Well, it's not listed as a blue chip guy. I would call him a blue chip guy, but 23. I think it's mainly because he's only been a full-time starter for about half of last year.
Yeah. So what I think is, and Joe Thomas and I were talking about this morning on the show with Tausch on his summer sabbatical, that I really do believe that it is, put up or shut up time for a lot of young guys that have flashed that they can be good and had really, really good moments, but just not that sustained being good, not all the time, because nobody's good all the time, but the vast majority of the time. And so most of those guys aren't 25 anymore. Like you said, Christian Watson, those types of guys, they've been here now. They're in year 4 or they're in year 3. And so it is, to quote the great Kevin Green during Super Bowl 45, it is time. And those guys, need to elevate, and they need to be consistently good instead of intermittently good. And if they do that, like I've been saying for months, they got a chance of being really, really good as a team. If not enough guys do that, seed 9-8, 10-7 against this schedule might be their reality. And that is the kind of stuff that sooner or later you start to think, okay, it's not some of these other teams, no offense, Jim, but the Bears.
Yeah.
But it's not good enough either, and maybe we need to do some things differently, and maybe this plan, the way we are building this team, is not working to the degree of chasing the championships that Goody said they need to start chasing.
You made me think, and I'm not. I want to be very clear. I'm not asking for the prediction of what gets LaFleur fired. But we were having this conversation. I believe was it Thursday or we're at Monk's Thursday at Monk's, and it was just more of like, because Ed Policy said that he doesn't want lame duck GM head coach next season, that I think it'd have to be pretty catastrophic for the Packers. But there's a case to be made where Ed Policy could say, like, look, if they win 9 games again, and let's say they miss the playoffs and some of these young guys don't look like they're jumping forward, you might just say, you know what? We got to be better than this. Like, maybe we've just capped with LaFleur, who, with Jordan Love, and if this all played out, never wins a division, doesn't win a ton of games, doesn't get a big jump forward. And I think you could do a lot worse than LaFleur, better than doing better than LaFleur's. But, like, what is that sort of magic number or play sort of thing that the Packers would have to see to consider moving on from someone like LaFleur? Because it seems insane to me, because he'd be hired pretty quickly.
Yeah, there'd be a line around the block for him. There's no question about that. Now, what I would say is this, and if it does go bad, I don't think it's going to go catastrophically bad.
I agree.
Which obviously is what gets you fired. What I would expect is, if they go 9-8 instead of 11-6, 12-5, make the divisional round kind of a thing, even if you don't win the division, what I would expect is they each get 1 year added onto their deals, so they're not lame ducks. If they go 4-13, the new boss is going to blow them out. But I just don't see, unless they have so many injuries like the Lions and the 49ers dealt with last year. And by the way, the Lions still found a way to win all those games. Mm-hmm. I don't see that happening. But to me, if they go what they've done the last 2 years, I also don't see them saying, hey, sign us up for another 4 years of this.
Right.
Like, I don't think that would be what you want to do either. So to me, you do the half measure of give them another year on their contract so they're not lame ducks. And then if you do it again in 2026 and they again go 9-8, 10-7, check out in the first round of the playoffs or in the divisional round, and they're not playing for a NFC championship and a berth in the Super Bowl, that's when you say, okay, well, I think we're going to try something else. So that's how I view it. Again, I don't know. This has been I'm looking at this season, and I like being right. And I just don't know what the right prediction is.
Yeah.
Like, I can see those two paths, converging or diverging, And I can see both outcomes. And if that happens, it's going to be really interesting to see what comes next.
Jason, interesting stuff as always. We appreciate it.
All right, everybody, take care. Be good.
That is Jason Wilde. We're going to play For Real or Phony with Matt LaFleur's press conference next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Because I'm out on Kelsey.
Clipped apart.
I'm out on Kelsey.
You
I don't like
despise Travis Kelce.
I do.
God, if Jim
his
was
hair,
here,
his last name, everything. He would be like, "What? Him and Taylor Swift are great."
if Jim was here, he would just be screaming at the both of you right
Literally,
now.
Oh
exactly.
my gosh, he would be losing
This
his
isn't even
mind.
a question.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With the family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Take your pick. Metro Ford of Madison is bringing the heat this summer. Now through August 4th, get 0% APR financing for 48 months on the 2024 Ford F-150, Escape, Bronco, Expedition, or the 2025 Ford Explorer. $20.83 cost per $1,000 finance. And yes, you can defer payments for 90 days with approved credit. Hurry! Offer ends August 4th at Metro Ford of Madison. Browse their inventory at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
The team you'll always remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin.
With a reunion you'll never forget.
This place, this school, this city, these teammates, this coach, just everything involved was the most formative part of my life and the most special part of my life.
Relive Made and Believe now with the full show on ESPN Madison on YouTube and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Brought to you by M3 Insurance Company, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzers. Made and Believe. Available now.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. During every Brewers home game at American Family Field throughout the 2025 season, fans will have the chance to win a 2025 Land Cruiser, courtesy of your Wisconsin Toyota dealers. Visit brewers.com/Toyota to enter. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Watching the shimmer out on the river, saying maybe this is my way home. Said I wanna be free, darling.
Jason Wilde calls for it, and Primetime Wollersheim delivers Drowning in Nostalgia from Matt Kearney.
This is Matt Kearney.
All right, I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown, Chrissy Birdsall with us in the Everlight Solar studio. We are presented by Coors Light. I've had a busy couple of days, and thanks to the folks at Cardboard Health, I still can kind of handle all of the physical taxing of the last few days, including the golf today, and whether that's hormone replacement treatment, whether that's GLP-1s, just general workouts there. They also have red light therapy and cryotherapy. I might try the cryotherapy. Heck, I should have gone after golfing today just to cool off. Would have been fantastic. But also, if you time it right, they have IVs. So it could have been a good day to time up for an IV to get all the nutrients you need back quick over with Carbon World Health. Matt LaFleur spoke today. It's kind of one of our new favorite games here on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
It is one of our favorites. They're not with Matt LaFleur.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gutekunst spoke today.
Matt LaFleur just too boring.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
He has nothing interesting to say.
Goody spoke today, and we like to talk. We like to hear the audio. It's a way to give you the audio, and then we figure out are they for real or phony. Now, Molly, I'm going to encourage you, because I do this all the time, start talking if they say something dumb. Like, you don't have to sit here. Like,
have an opinion.
Kind of like Muppets, the Peanut Gallery there. Like, we could be just up there commenting on some of their stuff as well. All right, let's get it started.
Well, look who's talking now.
You talking to me? Well, who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
Now, are they speaking the truth?
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Or feeding us crap?
You're a phony! Hey, everybody! This guy's a great big phony!
Time to decide if it's for real or phony.
Yeah, guys, as we were saying, Brian Gutekunst only speaks once a week, so when he talks, we got to decide whether what he was saying was for real or phony. And one of the big questions that asked him today was about Nate Hobbs and his aggressiveness in practice, which we just talked to Jason Wilde about as well. So apparently he was not involved in the injury, or wasn't the direct result or reason for the injury of Marshawn Lloyd yesterday, but he was asked plenty of questions about Hobbs' physicality and the fact that he's now, collided with multiple players during non-padded and semi-padded practices. So this is the response Goody gave when asked about balancing Hobbs' physicality with staying safe in practice.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously you're trying to balance a lot of things as you're going through camp, but we're trying to become a certain kind of football team that can win and win, deep into the playoffs. And there's a certain kind of a physicality that you have to have, and Nate Hobbs brings all that, and that's why we brought him here. It's very important that all our guys have that kind of edge to them. You want to keep guys off the ground, and you want to make good decisions while you're going through camp and keep guys healthy. But at the same time, I'd rather be pulling the reins, and making sure that we got enough guys in that room that have that kind of edge.
Molly, what did you feel about Goody's response here about Nate Hobbs? Is this for real or phony, talking about one guy's with an edge?
This is for real, but maybe it's because I agree with him. Like, obviously, I think there's a line that you can't cross when you're on the football field with your own teammates, but we've talked about it time and time again that Matt LaFleur just seems soft when it comes to practices, and
it's not
the Green Bay Packers the last how many years they come out in the first game of the season and we're like, what the hell are they doing? Is this a direct result of them not going hard in practice? So I'm all for it. Give the physicality. Don't hurt your teammate. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I guess it's TBD if he's more physical than anyone else on the Packers. I guess the one concern, just having been around covering some NFL teams and following other NFL teams, this can also be positioned, and this is the first time I've seen it a little bit with the Packers, but it could be positioned at some point as lack of discipline. You're told to stop hitting guys. And I know sometimes this turns into fights, And then what happens in those fights is the guy who's tackling everyone in practice ends up getting kicked out of practice or suspended. And I'm not around the games, and I'm not around this enough, but like that usually at some point, if Hobbs keeps this up, this becomes more of like what are you doing? This is a discipline problem, not a toughness problem, because there's plenty of tough dudes on the team that don't have to hit their teammates.
He was addressed by Matt LaFleur yesterday, actually, too, because while he wasn't the direct reason, apparently, for Marshawn Lloyd getting injured, apparently Marshawn Lloyd was trying to avoid a tackle or a hit from Nate Hobbs, and while doing that, he tried to reposition himself, change his body weight, change his direction of motion.
He also might just be made of glass based on...
Well, and he did injure a groin that he had apparently had a groin injury last year, too. So this could be a pre-existing thing. But after that practice, he was actually pulled out of practice for at least a few plays by Matt LaFleur for this very reason.
I believe, and when exactly this was said, a couple days before this, LaFleur said that they had a conversation with Hobbs of stop doing this because you don't want to be the guy that hurts a teammate.
Because he had done the same thing to a certain extent with Dontavian Wicks, non-padded practices, trying to break up a pass and basically going through his teammate rather than going for the ball, but making sure that he collided with his teammate while doing it.
Yeah. So should Goody not be defending him? Because that was basically Goody defending Hobbs.
It was.
And defending the reason why he brought Hobbs in.
I think Goody's trying to sell a little bit of like, we're tough. And LaFleur's got to deal with the repercussions of it. There's tough and there's...
Stupid?
I don't want to call Hobbs stupid. What he's doing is stupid. You do
overly aggressive.
But at this point, if you're told multiple times, stop. Like,
that's fair.
Now you're not listening, and that can be frustrating. You want guys who are aggressive, guys who are so aggressive and that won't listen in practice. That's a different problem.
I've never been more excited for joint practices before.
So I guess I'll call this. I'll call it phony because hitting your teammates is not a sign of toughness. Hitting your teammates after you've been told to stop hitting your teammates is not a sign of toughness. It's a sign of not listening. So I think there's plenty of tough. I think Edgerrin Cooper is plenty tough. I haven't heard a lot of stories about him hitting teammates when they're not supposed to be hitting.
Very good point. All right, well, guys, I'm actually going to pivot for this next cut here because while I mentioned Goody at the beginning, we also have some audio that we just got from Jordan Love after practice today. And we asked and talked to Jason Wilde about it. Matt LaFleur loudly addressing his team after the practice for some of the extracurriculars that were going on, not involving Nate Hobbs today, apparently. But here's what Jordan Love had to say about the message from his head coach. So I want to ask you guys for this one. Do you think that what Jordan Love is saying about Matt LaFleur sounds for real or phony for Matt LaFleur's personality? Let's go ahead and hear what he says.
I think, quite frankly, over the last couple of years, I felt...
That's not Jordan Love's voice.
I was like, what? That's Jordan Love?
No.
Man, I do not know what Jordan Love sounds like.
Sure did. This is Jordan Love's voice.
Yeah, just some of the chippiness and some of the, post-play things that might be going on, offense and defensively. So just the message is, practice smarter. Always have that team first mentality. And obviously everybody's out there competing and, football is a very violent sport. A lot of things go on, but just to, have that mindset, we're taking care of each other in practice.
It's very windy up there in Green Bay. Yeah. Yeah, all the audio that we get from the Green Bay Packers has actual supercuts in it too, like transitions.
I just think of Family Guy when they learn I forgot what it was. This one transition in every scene transition these sex or maybe it's Simpsons. I don't know.
But. A lot of the player availabilities are like
Star Wipe.
Episodes.
Star Wipe. Star Wipe.
Pretty much. The Green Bay Packers love their Star Wipe. But guys, what do you think about?
I just wanted to transition from you.
Thank you. What did you think about what Jordan Love had to say about his coach's message to the team? Does that sound for real or phony for Matt LaFleur?
Whoosh. I'm going to say it's for real, but I'm starting to worry if there's a problem here because they suspended Jair Alexander. They've had to suspend Romeo Doubs. They got Hobbs not listening. They have players today. Now, I do think worth noting, Wilde saying all the guys getting behind Walker who had to go for the run. I think that's great. But there's a difference between being mad, and this is what I was kind of asking, being mad, being LaFleur, and trying to be for show, for a phony disciplinarian.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
But if you had, I would just say if we could mark this, and at the end of the year, if there's more problems, might have to go back. Is Matt LaFleur someone that keeps the whole team in check, or is he a brilliant offensive mind who is maybe not everything that he needs more Dan Campbell in him?
And he doesn't maybe keep himself in check, too, as we saw on the sidelines a lot last year.
So, like, again, a lack of discipline. So,
and then players feed off their head coach.
Oh, come on.
What do you mean, oh, come on?
In that Vikings game, is that what you're talking about? When he was freaking out, and then he got a flag from the ref during that one when he ran down the field? That one?
I was at the Bear game. He was losing his mind. We could hear him swearing and going bananas in that game at Soldier Field.
There's multiple occasions last year. Honestly, the Vikings
game,
the Bears game.
There's so many head coaches that do that.
True, but he was getting flagged for it.
But here's the other.
Not every head coach does that.
I'm not saying it's a problem yet, but when you have then Jair Alexander, who's just flagrantly just going out and calling himself a captain, Romeo Dobbs, who disappears, and then you have Nate Hobbs, who's getting...
I understand. There's issues.
Like, it's more of let's circle back. If nothing happens this year, it's a big nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be breadcrumbs leading to nowhere. It could be breadcrumbs leading to Matt LaFleur's got to figure out how to tighten up his shit.
Molly, what do you think?
He's not tight.
Not tight. He's not tight.
It's not tight.
I'm
not tight.
Jordan? Okay, I want to love, and I think I do love, but everything he says is just so unforgettable. Like, I kind of forgot what he even said in this clip. It's been 2 minutes since I heard it, and I kind of have already just forgotten what he said. I feel like he just kind of says things. He says things because he's the face of the franchise, and that's about it. It's just a blanket statement.
All right. Well, Molly turning this around saying that Jordan Love.
You're a phony.
I'm not saying he's a phony. It's just he doesn't really have we've talked about it before. He doesn't really have a personality. He doesn't really say anything that's like, oh yeah, I believe you. Oh, you are the leader of this football team. And I think that's part of the problem of the things that Matt LaFleur is looking to get him better at, becoming a leader, right?
So
he didn't say anything bad. He didn't say anything phony. He didn't say anything fake. He didn't say anything. He just was talking. I don't know. There was nothing there to react to.
Jordan Love, what he's saying right now feels like words, not action. So that's why I feel like it's phony.
It's word salad.
Word salad.
And I don't know what his right answer in this situation is. What are you going to say? Yeah, Nate Hobbs is acting like an idiot. Yeah, Matt LaFleur needs to get control of this team.
The Walker thing today then, too.
Right.
So, I don't think
I don't know what the right answer is.
Do you think the right answer could be that if he's the quarterback, he should be the one addressing the team?
I would say Jordan Love, hey, you know what? What I need to do is I need to make sure my guys are in check.
Yeah.
We're on the same wavelength.
That's my guy right there.
We got David Kaplan coming up in a minute to talk about Ryan Sandberg. So, Daniel, the landscaper, send this message tomorrow. Because how about them apples, Jim, Cubs suck, go Brew Crew. As I said earlier, I could give a crap about last night's game. Ryan Sandberg passed away, an all-time great Cub. Totally took my complete interest in that game. I had no interest in what happened. I have no cares that the Cubs lost to the Brewers last night. I will care again tonight, but I'm going to just go ahead and focus on the bummer it is that a baseball icon, Ryan Sandberg, passed away. We're talk Dave Kaplan about that. We'll talk about Cubs Brewers. We'll also talk about Caleb Williams. I think strung together 3 really good practices after a pretty rough start. So for all those stat keepers out there, his stats are now good.
And his practice stats.
Well, I'm just saying for those who are dunking on his practice stats early, now they're
people
good.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Practice stats are stupid.
Very stupid.
Could you imagine us having stats on our air checks?
Take that for data.
The whole point of this stuff is to get better at it, and if you're just and it's not even air checks aren't the proper thing. But could you imagine having to keep stats of your practice? You're trying to learn to do something, and they're like, Ryan, just not doing it. You're doing a practice show, and Ryan sucks. He did practice show number 2 in his life, and it's terrible. He's done. He's never gonna be on the radio because he's had 2 bad practice shows.
That's what they're doing with Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders in Cleveland right now.
They're doing all over. It's not just, it's the Packers thing too.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is how we get these
NFL is king.
Yeah, but
of course these are going to be coming out.
And I love all this stuff.
All we care about right now, nobody cares about baseball. We all care about the NFL. We all care about football. That is what we are all passionate about.
I know practice stats really feel like it's jumped this
I get
shark.
it. And I'm not a believer in them. I'm just saying.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at StarionBank.com. Member FDIC. A standout message. Wisconsin football getting a blast from the past with J.J. Watt visiting practice. The Badger legend speaking to the locker room during his visit, hyping up this year's squad. Linebacker Daryl Peterson taking the message to heart heart, motivated to uphold Wisconsin's legacy.
When you think of this place, you think physicality, running the ball, stopping the run. Like that's one of the big things he told us. I think that was one of the things that stuck to me. Like he was like, we were playing guys like we might have lost, but they knew they played us afterwards. That was one of the things that stuck with me, and that's my challenge to our defense now. Let's get these guys living out here in body bag.
For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience. Get 0% interest for up to 5 years if you order by July 31st at PellaWI.com.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This station has conducted a test of the emergency alert system.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
The search for luxury begins at Audi Madison. Save $5,500 when you purchase or lease a new 2025 Audi Q7 55. National customer credit is good toward the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until July 30th. Why drive something ordinary when you can drive something extraordinary? Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
This is Wisconsin Volleyball National Champion Devin Robinson. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Day 6 of Packers training camp practices wrapped up earlier this afternoon, and there's still some lingering injury concerns hanging over from Monday sessions. Running back Marshawn Lloyd, who was sidelined with injuries for all but one game last season, had to leave practice early with an injury yesterday. GM Brian Gutekunst and head coach Matt LaFleur characterized it as a non-contact injury when speaking with the media earlier this morning. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur on the running back's, quote, unfortunate injury.
Kind of working through it right now, but it's unfortunate. He was doing great. It's just, you'd like to have him out there. He's a guy that needs that experience, and unfortunately has had to fight through a lot of adversity.
Lloyd set up practice again today after being designated with what was called a groin injury. Head over to ESPN.com for all your news, updates, and more from every day of Packers training camp going on up in Green Bay. Then the Milwaukee Brewers took Game 1 of the I-94 rivalry last night, winning 8-4. First pitch tonight is set for 6:40 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:04 right here after Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special. Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
I know that Andrew Vaughn had a nice game yesterday.
And a fly ball left center field. This is well struck. This is gone! Andrew Vaughn!
He is a negative 1.7 WAR player so far this year.
His WAR for the Brewers is 0.2. Just saying. It's a new era.
Look, Matt, he sucks. If you want to ride on die or that, like you can, but he's
broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown. Here's Jim Rutledge.
It is hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the Mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush
a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio alongside Molly Brown. Chrissy Birdsall is with me as well. Primetime Laura Sham on the other side of the glass. The audio there you heard was me talking about Andrew Vaughn, and honestly, the maddest I got yesterday, and I think this happened before I found out about the passing of Ryan Sandberg, was when Andrew Vaughn hit a home run because, God, that guy is so bad at baseball. And here's the other part. My brother's like, I don't know, maybe we'll have to figure out what they're going to do with Rhys Hoskins or Vaughn. And I was like, you know that Vaughn would be in the minors not playing for this team if Hoskins didn't get hurt. So it's not like the Brewers like, we got this diamond in the rough. They're like, I guess this is the player we got to play, and by chance he's good. Like, that's frustrating. That's annoying. That's not even, like, good strategy. That's just like, this is the player we have. We have to play him because our starting first baseman is hurt.
Wasn't everybody just saying how he disappeared and became the Andrew Vaughn
he was
late,
like
and then he
was like 0 for
just
12 before like the last game here. Yeah, he was on a big.
He
big
steps
over.
up in big moments, Jim. That's all that matters. King Vaughn knows the moment.
King Vaughn.
Good
Lord.
Our next guest here, Dave Kaplan from ESPN Chicago, would know of Andrew Vaughn from the Chicago White Sox, and obviously I want to bring him more on is to talk about Ryan Sandberg and talk about his legacy because David, I was at the game and actually I brought my girls with. They're wearing Cubs stuff. I'm wearing my Cubs stuff. No place like Wrigley Field. I should have added the North on there, which is AmFam Field, Wrigley Field North. But my wife was wearing a shirt. On the way in, she's wearing a Ryan Sandberg jersey T-shirt. She's like, what's the jersey I'm wearing anyways? And I said, oh, this is actually Ryan Sandberg. It's actually sad right now. There's kind of I think he's in maybe hospice care. He might pass away soon. Then during the game, he did. And it kind of took all the excitement out of the game for me, but you obviously, I would imagine, had a much closer relationship. I just watched him from afar on WGN. Ryan Sandberg, his impact on the Cubs, on baseball, on you. I want to bring you in to start with that.
Well, it's great to be with you guys. It's a sad day because I got to work with him. He wasn't my best friend, but we had a really nice relationship. And I was telling this story today on my radio show, Kappa J. Hood, on ESPN Chicago. So we hired Rhino. I was the host of Cubs pregame, postgame on TV for a long, long time. And prior to that, I was the host on radio. I did 25 consecutive seasons with the Chicago Cubs, either radio or TV. And from 2009 to 19, I was the host on TV. 2016 is this magical year. Mm-hmm. Todd Hollingsworth, who was the 95 Rookie of the Year in the NL for the Dodgers. He became a Cub. We became friends. We hire him. He's my partner. Now we're going into playoffs, and my boss has said, you know what? We're going to call Ryan Sandberg and see if he wants to join you guys. Great. Rhino says yes. And we're on this joyride. And now the Cubs are down 3-1, Game 5 at Wrigley. Me, Holly, Rhino. Cubs win. John Lester was amazing. Chris Bryant hit a homer. And now I said, you going to Cleveland? Yep, I'll see you in Cleveland. We do Game 6 on Tuesday night. And the game ends. We do a 2-hour post game. And honest to God, this is true. At 12:35, I still have the picture timestamped on my phone. I said on the air to Rhino and to Holly, all right, let's finish this strong. We're on till 1. And Rhino, I can't wait to see you tomorrow when we try to win a World Series. He said, I won't be here for the post-game show tomorrow. Oh, well, what do you mean? We hired you to do the pre and the post. He said, here's the deal. We are winning the World Series tomorrow. I said, well, I hope you're right. No. Listen to me, Cap. No hope. We are winning the World Series tomorrow. And when we do, I'm not coming out of the stadium to join you here. I am going to celebrate with the Cubs in the clubhouse. And we won the World Series, and that dude stayed right in there in the clubhouse. And it's one of my fondest memories. And he was so happy, it was unbelievable.
And, well, to that point, with the game and the series going on right now, I'm expecting the Cubs to make a move here. I'm not expecting the Brewers to do anything of significance. That's kind of my hope right now because the Cubs are scuffling. The Brewers have been playing over their skis. Hopefully they even out a little bit. But I guess when you look at the Brewers from down in Chicago and then also what the Cubs need to do, how big of a thorn in each other's side do you think they're going to be for the rest of the season?
Oh, I think this is going to go right down to the wire. I think it's a really good Brewers team. I don't think it's as good top to bottom as the Cubs are. But right now, you can't dispute the fact that they have better starting pitching. Justin Steele is not here. He's out for the year. Justin Steele was in this rotation. I might have a different opinion, but, Imanaga is working his way back from a 7-week hamstring injury. Colin Ray, who pitched in Milwaukee as well. He's okay. He's going tonight. He's not a superstar. Matt Boyd's had a great year. He had a bad night last night. That's going to happen. But I fully expect Jed Hoyer to, like in poker, push all his chips in. I fully expect that to happen here in the next 24 to 48 hours because
we got a freeze there for a second.
Yeah, we sure did.
From Cap, so hopefully that'll pick back up. I don't know if the birds that we hear in the
I
background
think a bird took out his phone, actually,
interfered with this.
I'm just wondering if he's at his lake house in Oshkosh.
No,
it's
not
a little
quite.
early.
No?
It's a little early for that. It's only Tuesday.
So?
Well, I mean,
It's
I feel
Tuesday.
like I'm sure for his show with Jay Hood that he's going to go and do that in studio in Chicago. That's a bit of a haul.
Fair. No, I just saw a tree in the background. I feel like last time that he was on.
I agree.
He was
There are trees in the Chicagoland area.
Is there?
Yeah,
I didn't know
we
that.
have trees here.
Yeah.
We do have trees. Anyway, what I was saying is I fully expect Jed to push his chips in and get players here. And I've been told by people at the top, money's not going to matter. It's how much prospect capital you have to give up for rentals. And we'll see. Jed signed a 5-year extension yesterday. He's a good dude. I'm glad he's going to be here. I just think if it comes down to money, I don't think the Brewers are going to compete with the Cubs. Prospect-wise, that remains to be seen.
Well, that makes me feel good, Molly. You can ask your question here because when you say money talks, Mark Attanasio, all he cares about is people having a good time. So that makes me very excited.
Hey, he said every move is on the table. So if you believe him.
Because here's the other part of it, Cap, as you talk about money for the Brewers here, is that they don't want to trade their prospects because they know that they're going to lose their star players, so they have to have these young players to backfill to keep their payroll incredibly low. So that's the thing that I feel like even in a prospect bidding war, the Cubs can win that because the Brewers are hesitant always to give up prospects because that's how they backfill when Peralta ends up leaving or getting traded away or Adames leaves. All these other guys leave because they need the prospects, the cheap players to backfill.
Okay, but here's what I'd say to you. That Brewers team's good enough to win a World Series. They are.
Yeah.
When you can throw Mizorowski and Freddie Peralta and Jose Quintana, you can. I'm not saying they will. They can. The Chicago Cubs also are good enough when you can roll out there Kyle Tucker and Pete Armstrong and Michael Bush and all of these dudes, Nico Horner. They have enough to do it if they go out and address their bullpen and maybe a high-end starter in their rotation. They can. If Mark Attanasio, who I've never met in my life, doesn't look at this team and go, if not now, when, and push the chips in, then he does not care about winning. That's just a fact. Like, if I owned a team, tomorrow's promised to no one. You could wake up next year for the Cubs, have re-signed Kyle Tucker, have got Pete Armstrong locked up on a long-term deal, gone out and spent a fortune in free agency, and guess what? You could wake up and have 5 guys on the injured list for the year. Tomorrow's promised to nobody. All I know is my favorite baseball team wakes up. Right now they're in the playoffs. Right now they're 1 game behind Milwaukee. And if there's a deal to be had out there that is reasonable, I don't want to hear that they're not going to put some prospect in. I could tell you a true story. Back in the 90s, 98, Mike Piazza told me he took a shower. Remember, he was traded by the Dodgers to the Mets?
Yeah.
Mike Piazza said, I get traded to the Florida Marlins first. He's there for 2 days.
Yeah.
They wanted to see if they could hijack him, keep him for 2 days, get something for the effort, then move him. Okay, so he gets traded to the Marlins. The Cubs agree to a deal to acquire Mike Piazza. This is the same year Sammy hits 66 homers. Cubs go to the playoffs. And he said, I'm in the shower. Wow, I'm a Chicago Cub. How cool is this? He said, and all of a sudden, the GM, Larry Beinfest, comes to the shower. He goes, hey, turn the shower off. I got to talk to you. The Mets just added another prospect. You're going to New York. Yeah, it was a left-hander, the 6th overall pick. You can look him up. His name was Jeff Getz, a lefty starter, the 6th overall pick in the draft. And he was heralded as this, oh, my God, he's, the next great thing. They called the Cubs and said, okay, we want you to put in a catcher named Pat Klein. He was a top 50 prospect. Yeah, Pat Klein never played in the big leagues. Never. And Ed Lynch went, nah, that's too much. I'm not going to give you the other prospect. And guess what? Mike Piazza's in the Hall of Fame, and the Cubs didn't get Mike Piazza.
Cap, I do want to switch gears to the Chicago Bears. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement around Ben Johnson coming to Chicago. A lot of excitement around Caleb Williams.
You see that logo?
Yeah, he's got the Bears jersey.
Right
or
there.
Bears logo showing up the T-shirt. Yep.
I'm used to it with Jim here. We got to deal with it on a daily basis. But obviously, there's a lot of excitement with Caleb Williams being in this new system with him, having a coach that he can learn behind, right? What are your expectations for the Bears this season?
10-7 is what I've picked them. 10-7. I don't think they're a 12, 13 win team. I do think they're going to be greatly improved because they've upgraded their coaching staff in such a huge way. That's one. Two, I know everybody up in Green Bay and up in Wisconsin, and I live in Oshkosh part of the summer. I have a home there. Yeah. All I hear about is how great the Packers are going to be. Let me just remind you that if you don't, with a fingertip, block the field goal to beat the Bears in Chicago, you go 0-6 in the division. 0-6, not win a game. And then we rolled in and beat your ass in Lambeau the end of the season. So I think the Packers are headed for a dead last finish in the division.
Oh, hey, okay. You don't have to remind me about the fingertip.
I told you.
No. I am in agreement. I am 100. In my mind, Jordan Love is getting paid way too much money to be a subpar quarterback.
Agreed.
That is where I land. So,
he's mediocre. He's okay.
Jim has called him good before, and I'm a little bit like
good, not great. Like good is like Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy.
He's a
sort of,
solid NFL quarterback. Yeah. $55 million for that dude? Yeah. No shot.
It's a lot. But I feel like we've actually had this conversation, right? And Jim, you can probably phrase the question better than me of that pretty much any team in the NFC North we could see either winning the division or being in dead last. I mean, do you kind of have that vision for the division as well?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if now again, JJ McCarthy has to work out because that team's loaded. If he's a decent quarterback, they're not finishing last. If he's terrible, different story. I don't think the Lions can finish last without catastrophic injury. I think it's those two teams. Does somebody surprise Bears, Packers battling, and one of them's going to finish last? That's how I look at it, and I think it's the Green Bay Packers.
Talking with Cap from Cap and J Hood on ESPN Chicago. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. And you mentioned something about the coaches, and I set it up here. And my biggest reason for optimism around anything working out with the Bears is I don't remember Ben Johnson, obviously the first big hire, but a coaching staff assembled with true, professional coaches. As a Bears fan, I think you'd have to go back to the Lovie Smith days when the Bears were competing for division titles, that they had a coaching staff this competent on paper. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, look, John Fox came in and was handed a really tough deal. John Fox is a quality football coach, not my cup of tea, so vanilla and so blasé. They had Vic Fangio with a really good defense. So John Fox was fine. He was competent. Mark Trestman was incompetent as an NFL head coach. Matt Nagy, very mediocre, although we'd kill for his records, 12-4, 8-8, 8-8, and then he went 5-11 and got fired. And then Matt Eberflus was way in over his head. He should never have been the head coach of the Chicago Bears. So I'm excited that they stepped up. They're paying $65 million over 5 years for Ben Johnson. And you should watch this guy training camp. I was there again today. Luther Burden, our second-round pick, who's a hotshot receiver. He wasn't lined up how he wanted him. He said, hey, out, get off the field, and kicked him out of the drill. He does not mess around, man. This guy is all in about accountability. I love it.
Bringing it back to Jordan Love, I feel like for me as a fan, I'm willing to give Jordan Love this last year to prove to me who he is, to see if he can actually be a consistent quarterback, because I feel like he's just been consistently inconsistent. For Caleb Williams, in my mind, I kind of erased last year because just all of the stories that came out after the fact, hearing how mistreated he was being their starting quarterback. Like, it was baloney, in my opinion. So I'm curious, how many years are you willing to give Caleb Williams?
I'll make that determination at the end of this year. Look, the nonsense that went off in Chicago last year and all around Caleb was horrible. But he was sacked 68 times, and he has to own some of those sacks for holding the football too long. And at the end of the season, he was so suffering from PTSD and just beaten down that I think his not work ethic, but his preparation got away from him. I really, truly believe that. So I look at Caleb. This is a massive year. No more excuses.
Cap, awesome stuff. Thanks so much for hopping on and giving us, basically reiterating a lot of stuff I say here, but we love the Chicago perspective. Cap and Jay Hood on ESPN Chicago Mornings. Cap, thanks so much.
All right, I'll be at the Brewers game tomorrow, so if you're there, come say hi.
Absolutely. Maybe I'll have to go one more time. I need to see a Cubs victory at AmFam Field. It is miserable.
They're winning tonight. Cubs win tonight.
I like it. Then this will be the big one tomorrow. Then that's kind of what I said. I did say that the last
tonight
game will
hasn't
define
even happened, so don't pretend like tomorrow has already happened.
But yesterday you asked me, and I said that I think they'd split the first two, and the Cubs win the third game of the series.
We'll see.
One batter, one pitch, one out at a time. Let's go get them.
All right, thank you, Cap. It's Cap. David
All right,
Kaplan
take
from
that.
Cap and Jay Hood on ESPN Chicago. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Let me tell you about J&K Security Solutions. They are locally owned, family-owned, and veteran-owned business that can protect your home or business from anywhere in the world. They also can help with commercial fire protection. So contact our good friends at J&K Security Solutions. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
So then they have to text the person, and she goes, yeah, I know, like, she makes them, like, with ginger specifically. I'm like, that must be what it is. It's ginger.
Gotta be ginger.
It's ginger. Because I'm like,
hold that Benadryl. I'm fine.
Those were just ginger cloves. Those weren't nuts.
Yeah, ginger clove. That's a thing.
Yes.
That's real.
Clearly. Obviously.
It's not. No such thing as a clove of ginger.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road, or visit PellaWI.com today.
Ever thought about hitting a golf ball in Camp Randall Stadium? Well, now is your chance. On August 1st and 2nd, you can enjoy a VIP experience while hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium down to custom greens on the field below. Start and end your round with great music, cold beers, food, and numerous golf challenges. Event is open to all ages, but hurry because tee times will go fast. Go to upperdeckgolf.com to book a tee time today. That's upperdeckgolf.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Chevy trucks smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious. With multiple engine options and impressive towing, while Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability. Nice. Making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
ESPN Madison is proud to partner with Mentoring Positives for our 3rd annual ESPN Madison Open. Mentoring Positives is a nonprofit based right here in Madison and is dedicated to uplifting youth and families through mentoring, athletics, and youth entrepreneurship. As a trusted presence in the community, Mentoring Positives has been helping young people build confidence, leadership, and purpose for 20 years. They're changing lives right here in our community. Visit mentoringpositives.org to make your impact today. That's mentoringpositives.org.
Hey, it's Crash Gladys from Speed Freaks. Are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use limited time promo code ADULT and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. Listeners are making $200 to $300 a year just from buying the gas they already needed. Don't wait. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code ADULT to redeem your 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code ADULT. Yeah, at first I thought it was too good to be true, but it's completely legit. Plus, you can cash out anytime. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now by using limited time promo code ADULT. That's promo code ADULT for a limited time 25 cents per gallon bonus. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Coming
coming out, he's coming out, he's coming out, he's coming out, he's coming out. It's there.
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton, the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl Happy Hour, Madison's best-kept secret. Although if I'm telling you about it, it's less of a secret, but still worth going. Get yourself get your steak sandwich, get yourself cheeseburger, Coors Light, seared sashimi, fried calamari. So many great things over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. And you know what? At the end of the segment, I'm going to tease you right now. I'm going to tell you about like a special deal that they got going on over at Lee. Called me up. And he told me specifically what they got going on over at Ruth's Chris, and I can share that with everyone. I'm gonna start the segment now, but before I get out, I will tell you about their 3-course dinner special that they have going on over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. 3 courses for $55. I'll tell you more about it after we talk a little about the ESPN story about the top 25 or best rosters under the age of 25 in the NFL. Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown with you. Chrissy Birdsall with us in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime war shine behind the glass. And here I'm going to give you, and maybe Ryan, give me some NFL music because, you know, I do have a great voice and I can read and everyone loves it, but I still think a little bit of music behind it might help out a little bit here. So I want to give you a little bit, and you can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream as well, and stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Basically, number of starts made by players under the age of 25. That's part of it. Okay. Number of snaps played by players under the age of 25. Quality of play by players under the age of 25. Age adjusted to capture the fact that a 21-year-old player of X ability will likely improve more than a 23-year-old player of X ability. Make sense? Extra consideration given to Pro Bowl and All-Pro selections. So a guy like Tucker Kraft, who is not considered a blue chip player on this list, it's probably because he turns 25 in here, so by the time he's a blue chip player, he might not even be eligible to be on this list. Value and length of player contracts, importance of position, draft value added, so if you are a top 3 round pick, you're going to get a little bonus into this.
Okay.
And then expected key starters and reserves under the age of 25, 4 teams in 25, and then have there been significant injuries that affected. So who do you guess? I'll give you a clue. It's an AFC team. Who do you think has the number 1 roster under the age of 25? I'll also tell you they had the number 1 roster under the age of 25 last year as well.
Can Ryan and I brainstorm this together? Or have you already seen the list?
I have not seen the list, actually.
Are the Chargers young?
No, they're not that young. I would not say that they'd be the ones on this list.
They're not a top 5 on
Not
this
going to be
list.
the Chiefs.
No, maybe the Ravens?
See, they seem old to me.
They do, but they always feel like they have a bunch of young. They're almost like the Packers, but they do what the Packers try to do really well.
I'll give you another clue here because you're not right yet. They also have a young QB.
So they're young. Not the Houston Texans.
Yep.
The Houston Texans. Okay.
Because they have C.J.
sense.
Stroud,
Yeah.
Will Anderson. Those guys both won Rookie of the Year offensive defensively.
That's
Derek
fair.
Stingley and Kamari Lassiter.
Kamari Lassiter, their safety, who's also a pretty good part of that defense as well.
All
okay,
right.
I can see it.
Make another guess here. The number 1 team in the NFC, and they were 10th last year.
Okay.
They're not in the North. Because Minnesota's behind Green Bay and Chicago.
And they were 10 overall in blue chip talent.
In 2024, blue chip talent last year, under the age of 25.
Is it the Philadelphia Eagles?
No, that's a good guess, but
They
no.
seem-
I mean, after they
They
just
said not
drafted.
necessarily always like great teams because number 4 on the list is not that good of a football team.
Cool. Cardinals?
No.
There's no way that they're
All
that
right,
high.
It's the right division.
Right division?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Rams,
it's the
Seahawks.
Los Angeles Rams.
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Witherspoon, Murphy, and the wide receiver, Jackson Smith Njigba.
Yep.
So there you got them. Washington Commanders, number 3.
Okay.
that makes sense.
Okay.
They
I
would
think that they're higher.
They were
but
18th last year. They jumped up to 3. The New York Giants, 13th last year, jumped up to 4. Malik Neighbors, Abdul Carter. Again, they are going to make projections on some of these picks.
yes.
Jackson Dart and Thibodeau. Some of this is going to be...
Jackson Dart's included as a blue chip prospect?
And where was he picked? They did
he was late first round?
They said extra points are going to be loaded up to where you're picked.
So draft position.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Were you listening?
And time to improve. So I don't know how old he is, but like if he's 22 and he's a first round pick,
He's 22.
And these are prospects. These are not players necessarily. Oh yeah, it does say players, but some of them are going to be prospects. Then you go number 5, the Chicago Bears. Last year they're number 5 as well. They graduated players are Kyler Gordon and Tyreek Stevenson. They are now older than 25, but they have Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, Darnell Wright, and Colston Loveland.
Okay.
And then there's some other players they talk about who are younger there. The Detroit Lions, number 6, with Sewell, Arnold, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and Jameer Gibbs.
That's shocking that all those guys are under 25 because they feel like they've been in the league for years.
And it's shocking that they're only 6 when they have that many guys who I would consider to be really good players.
Right.
But I think all those guys are, and this is the difference here, I would imagine every one of those players I just listed are probably like 24. They're all going to be graduating, and there's not a lot of backfill. So, because the other part of this is Chicago, going back to them, Luther Burden, Ozzie Trapillo. They had 3 second-round picks this year who are expected to play.
And they're all considered blue chip.
Well, no, these are all players who are under. They can climb up, though. It's not just the blue chip players. I'm just giving you the highlights. It's overall players on your team under the age of 25 who are considered, and then they rank those players.
But true, we're also talking about guys who have never played a snap in the NFL.
But then Gervon Dexter. But so a lot of these teams are, like I said, not necessarily good teams. The Giants are up there. They have a lot of draft picks. But it's where will they project. That's why there's a lot of movement in this. That's why the Packers, they had a lot of players graduate, so they slipped down the list.
So how much do you think this means, though, if we're talking about guys who we have not seen play in the NFL?
I think for Detroit it means a lot.
Yeah, for Detroit, because the guys you listed, those are all like proven
those
good
are all
players.
For the Giants, I don't think it means much of anything. For the Commanders, I think it matters.
Right. Commanders is mostly because of Jane Daniels.
Well,
I would say.
but also again, they have a lot of players who are under the age, kind of like Wilde talked about. The Packers they have players who just turned 26, and they have guys like 22 who are completely unproven. They don't have a lot of players in that sort of like
Matthew Golden.
Yes, but they don't have a lot of players in that in between. There's kind of a gap. They have players 26 and above, and players 22 and like 23 years old. So
and because Edgerrin Cooper's not on this list, which if we're going by blue chip prospects,
but where was he picked?
He was second-round pick, 45th overall.
And then he only started half the games. I think he's a blue chip player, but I'm just going off of how they broke it out. I do think Edgerrin Cooper's a blue chip player.
What this list comes down to is that, let me look who wrote it. Aaron Schatz. He has way
Schatz,
too much time on his hands because this list is insane. Just all of the factors that go into it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just another list. It's list season, right?
And it's a list that's based purely off of like resume.
List.
It's purely based off resume and what you should do with where you were taken and where you should what you should do based off of maybe like a small sample
I
size.
kind of just added as context. Like when I look at the Chiefs, they're 13th. So they were 14th. So, and a little bit of breaking news here from Adam Schefter. Trey Hendrickson is reporting to Cincinnati Bengals camp tomorrow. No contract is what I think I saw there, but he is reporting.
So what injury is he going to show up on the list with?
Well, I think at some point he still wants to play and get paid and win football games with the Bengals. I'm not saying that's how it's going to resolve, but so like Philadelphia is on this list. For me, it's more of like how young are some of these teams? And it was interesting for me that Green Bay Packers are perpetually one of the youngest teams in the NFL, and they just have they were very high on the list. They were number 9. If I was truly looking last year, 9 is probably a more true number than 23, but they had Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Quay Walker, Rasheed Walker.
So last year you said they were number 9.
Yes.
So and those were the blue chip players last year?
That graduated, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Reed,
so now
Romeo Doubs, Quay Walker, Rasheed Walker. Yeah. Now, the interesting part is only one of those guys would I bet money is going to be on the Packers next year.
And how would you qualify Rasheed? How does Rasheed Walker qualify as blue chip?
Because he started,
So it's based off a certain number of starts?
Yeah, and at a premium position.
Okay.
But that was last year. He's not a blue chip anymore.
Yes,
okay.
for sure.
Because he graduated. He's still a good player. He's just not a blue chip player under the age of 25.
Yes. No, I'm there with you on that.
So we'll wrap it up on this. Here's what they had to say about the Packers. And maybe this will provide context. Maybe it won't. There are so many young wide receivers in Green Bay right now. A couple of them have graduated from our list by turning 25, but others are still younger than that. First-round pick Matthew Golden turns 22 on August 1st. Third-round pick Savion Williams turns 24 in November. Dontavion Wicks is 24 years old. So some of these guys, they're not even really ever going to qualify for this because remember they talked about the age. So a guy like Wicks is already, as a blue chip player under the age of 25, basically impossible to hit that number. Same with Savion Williams. Now, they could be a blue chip player above the age of 25, but they can't hit that number at the age of 25. It's just not going to happen.
But if they're 25 and they're still this good, does it really matter whether they qualify?
It doesn't. It doesn't. I was just saying that age matters in here. So he's saying that Dontavion Wicks at 24, been in the league a few years, probably is who he is.
Dontavion Wicks, maybe, unless he can start catching the football, and then he changes significantly. But that usually doesn't change.
But Savion Williams, even at 24,
unfortunately,
at 24, you're probably, and we've talked about this.
Who you are.
You're kind of even if you're a rookie, you're kind of more cooked than most.
Well, yeah, and he's going to fill in as more of the gadget, sort of Cordero Patterson role more than anything in his career. He's never going to be it would be really shocking if he developed into like a true like outside receiver.
I don't have Tucker Kraft's age. Maybe someone can look that up.
He's 24.
24, and Luke Musgrave turns 25 in like a month. So
and
like,
he's nowhere close to blue chip.
Right. So some of it had to do with some of it just has to do with the timing of their age. And then it goes here. The Packers offensive line features Sean Ryan, who's 24. Is he going to even be here next year?
Probably not.
Unlikely.
All right, but he will turn 25, so all of a sudden off the list. So again, that's why the Packers are lower, because even some of the players they have who are good, by the time they would be blue chip under the age of 25. This isn't overall roster rankings. This is just an age
for
ranking
sure.
thing. Yeah.
But how much do you think this actually means?
Nothing. But my whole point is it meant nothing when the Packers bragged about having the youngest roster.
Okay.
That's
Fair.
my point. The other side of it is second-round rookie Anthony Belton is 24. Jordan Morgan, I think, is 24 as well. The defense, a little bit younger. Bullard is 22. So he's got room to grow.
Evan Williams is
24.
Yeah, if he has a lot of starts again next year.
Adrian Cooper is 23, and Van Ness is 24.
He's not under consideration.
Let's go. If I'm betting on players, and I get what they're saying here, and this is how we can end it. If I'm looking at players that are going to take a big jump, if I was really betting on it, Cooper, because of his age at 23 and what he showed last year, and then Bullard, because he's only 22. And I think some of these guys can take a little time to fully, and he's also trying to figure out his position. So if he ends up being a good nickelback and he ends up being a player that develops into that sort of player at the age of 22, he's still young enough to really develop into a completely different football player. Evan Williams at 24, you're not all the way there, but you're just closer to who you are in general. And then, obviously, again, Adrian Cooper's the guy, and then Van Ness I think is terrible. Now, I do think Adrian Cooper will be a blue chip player next year.
And does he, Aaron Schatz in this article, does he specifically say what qualifies as a blue chip player, or is it just based off this list of criteria that is
all that
an
criteria,
amalgamation?
Yeah,
okay.
the criteria I gave you. So where you're drafted, how old you are, how much better they think you're going to get through the year. Because if you're a 24-year-old, how much better they think you're going to get to, premium position too. Is tight end a premium position? I don't.
Depends on how you use them.
I mean, they had
Colson, use them the right way.
They had Colson Loveland and Sam Laporta on the list, but Colson Loveland's 19 or 20. And he's a 10th overall pick.
I think he's 20. He was in college for 3 years.
Yeah, I just know he was very young, much younger than the guy that the Colts took. I think Warren is
Tyler
23.
Warren, yeah.
But to that point, one of the things Chicago talked about is Warren's 23, turning 24. Loveland, they're he's still going to grow into his body.
But isn't there also part of it, too, if these guys are on their rookie contracts, their best, highest earning potential years are probably going to be when they're 23, 24, 25. So honestly, I see why Goody likes to draft those guys too, because then he's we're getting them in what should be their prime physical years, but they're at their cheapest possible cost.
I'm
not saying that's the right way, but I know that's the way Goody looks at it, and I think that's the way the Packers approach this thing too.
I just found it interesting.
It is.
It's not a set the roster. Again, I think I think the Bears and the Packers have a more similar roster than fans want to admit. Absolutely.
When you say similar, do you mean in the way it's built or the quality?
The quality. I think quarterback. I think if both quarterbacks play exactly the same this year, I would say the Bears have a better roster, but we cannot guarantee that they would play. And if you're betting, you're going to bet on Jordan Love, what he's done over the last few years.
Right.
But if all things were equal, if you took the quarterbacks off these rosters, I think Chicago's got a case. But the quarterback matters, and the Packers have a better quarterback at this time.
That's my guy right there.
So I found it interesting because the Packers usually rank very high on this. Like last year, they were 9th. I feel like they're perennially in the top 10.
I think last year, especially without Adrian Cooper qualifying to be a blue chip player, last year's draft is just not going to give you the pop that you'd want in that case. Because Evan Williams is good, Javon Bullard is good or solid for their draft position, their age. But Jordan Morgan not playing at all last year is going to take a big hit on this.
Yeah, and then Ryan is okay.
Sean Ryan, you're saying?
Yeah, Sean Ryan. Musgraves hasn't done anything.
No.
And then you look at Belton already being at 24. That's not going to help this specific
And who we
case.
talked about earlier today, Marshawn Lloyd. If he could stay healthy, maybe he'd have consideration on this list.
He's not even listed.
No, nor should he be.
I was
played
gonna
one
say,
game.
there's no reason he should be.
Yeah, so Jordan Morgan's age, along with Belton's age, along with Morgan might not play again this year, and Belton likely won't play this year. It doesn't mean they're not going to end up being good, useful players. It's just, I found it another layer of context. When I'm trying to figure out what teams are, it's just another layer of context.
So what did you learn about all the teams we talked about?
I've learned that the Giants have way too hyped of a roster.
And if they don't win 7 games, Joe Shane and Brian Daboll are done.
I would say I've learned that the Detroit Lions might be a problem for a long time.
Yes, that is very true. I very much agree with that.
And Detroit was the first thing that caught my eye there. All right, we're going to throw some stones on the other side. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
So, random Marlin player, Dan Ugla.
All that's going through my head right now is UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly.
I'll give you another one real quick before we get to our side and limited poll question.
You ugla. You ugla.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
You love choices.
Like your choices with a Sweeto metal roof.
Choose standing seam or high-profile steel shingles that come in a variety of styles that last a lifetime.
Put a Sweeto metal roof on and take the worry off with choices.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweeto. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweeto metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweeto metal roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. In fact, we are Wisconsin's only Pella Platinum Premier Certified contractor, and we've won Pella's prestigious National Contractor of the Year award 5 times. It's easy to get started. The process starts with homeowners meeting us at Siding Unlimited's amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango, bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bars of the Month. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy the best High Life specials in Madison. Plus, to celebrate our love for dive bars, we'll be giving away a case of Miller High Life to one lucky fan every Thursday. Live the high life with Jim, Matt, and Molly and enjoy the champagne of beer in its natural environment. Like Main Street Lanes, Jerry's Place, Antlers Tavern, and Argus Bar and Grill.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious. With multiple engine options and impressive towing, while Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability. Nice. Making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car, better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Hi, this is Lee.
inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Oh yeah, round and round they go. I get around, still clown with the underground when we come around. Around and round they go. Stronger than ever. Back to get wrecked. All respect to those who break their neck.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. It's the Mountain Blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio. You can hear Primetime Laura Shime there. Chrissy Birdsall with us as well. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. And you can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app as well. We have a Siding Unlimited poll question on the Carbon Stalking text line. This is more. The question is, which under 25 player is most likely to become a blue chip player? And we have Matthew Golden, Edrin Cooper, Marshawn Lloyd, or other. I would imagine Marshawn Lloyd's not getting a lot of votes.
I mean, if he's healthy, you could see a path to him becoming that guy.
How can you say that?
Because where he was drafted, he was a third-round pick, and based off he's a receiving back who has explosive abilities, like, it doesn't help that he's had injuries that would impinge his explosiveness. But you could convince yourself if he stays healthy, he could be a really good player.
So I would say in addition to, but not in play. Like I would put him in a clear third place there. So if you want to say Fair. He also could be a blue chip player, yes. But
I think it maybe goes to show that the Packers don't have a lot of options for guys who could develop into blue chip players
under the age of 25.
Well, still under 25. Yes. But I guess really to be the blue chip thing is more about being a prospect, and I guess in order to do that, you have to be under 25.
True.
So the Packers are shoehorned into a tough spot here.
Yeah, but this year
Aaron Schatz just hates the Packers. All he likes to do is just Schatz on the Packers.
Crap. All right, let's throw some stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out.
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
And before I get to the stone I want to throw, I need to tell you about the great deal at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse that I teased last segment. At Ruth's Chris Steakhouse for the next couple of weeks here, Ruth's 3-course meal for $55 includes a starter, entree, and personal side and dessert. What does that mean, Jim? It means you can pick from a starter. I'm going to have you place your order right now.
Let's do it.
Chris, you can do it as well. So your starter, you get to pick from. Ryan, you can play too. Your starter, you pick from steakhouse salad, Caesar salad, or French onion soup.
Steakhouse salad.
Caesar salad.
French onion soup.
French onion soup there is legit.
I love French onion soup.
That's a place where you're going to have a French onion soup like you've never had before.
Okay.
But I mean, the salads and all that are great as well. So the next one, your entree, 6-ounce filet and shrimp. So it's their tender 6-ounce center cut filet with 3 large shrimp.
Surf and turf.
Salmon and shrimp. So blackened salmon topped with 3 grilled shrimp with New Orleans barbecue butter, or a stuffed chicken breast. Juicy oven roasted double breasted chicken filled with creamy garlic herb cheese.
Oh my God, that chicken sounds good. But I have to get a steak if I'm at Ruth's Chris.
I'm feeling the same way. Yeah,
Give me the first one.
Surf and turf always hits.
Yeah, but you're probably taking the salmon because you're a salmon guy.
I do like salmon, but I can't pass up the option of having surf and turf. That is like if it's available, you got to take it.
Same.
Same thing. Surf.
All right. You can upgrade to an 8-ounce center cut filet by adding $11. I would go ahead and do that.
Okay, yeah, you didn't tell us that option. That's pretty good too.
Yeah,
100%.
So if I was waiting at the table, like, that's what you want? Do you want to upgrade?
There you go. There you go. You're a good waiter.
Thanks. Then your sides: creamed spinach, garlic mashed potatoes, or roasted Brussels sprouts.
Garlic mashed potatoes.
Have you guys ever had roasted Brussels sprouts?
I have.
Roasted Brussels sprouts. Wow.
I've only had Brussels sprouts that I've made, and they've been fine. I feel like I just end up burning them more often than not. So, like, I'm really not a Brussels sprouts expert here.
And
but
that's why it's good to get them at a restaurant where they have a professional
Ruth's Chris is probably
they really do a good job.
Crush
with it.
them.
Yes, I've had them at a couple restaurants. When they're good, they are amazing.
They are. The cream spinach is great too. Now that kind of reminds me of like spinach artichoke dip, but the cream spinach is. I've had it there. It's great, but I would go with garlic mash.
Is it like soupy?
No, it's got like a thick consistency.
It's more like a dip, kind of.
Yeah, it's almost like the dip, but you can just eat it with a fork. Think of like a spinach artichoke dip with just eat it with a fork.
Chrissy, what about you?
I'm 22, still too young for greens, mashed potatoes.
I'm starving now.
Right, and then the dessert is chef's selection, so we'd have to just wait and see when we went.
Do you have a cocktail menu pulled up too? Can I get like a mocktail?
I'm sure they got a mocktail for you.
Okay.
Kevin over there can make you a great mocktail. So go participate in all of that at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse for the next couple weeks here. All right, I want to get to Stones. You played the open here. Happy Gilmore 2. Matt, you've seen it. Ryan, you've seen it?
I have seen it.
Chris, have you seen it?
Yeah, I watched it this weekend.
All right, you have not. I have not seen it, but our boys said that it was good.
My girls are very excited about watching it, so that was our movie pick for Sunday. What would you give it on a IMDb scale out of 10?
Chrissy, you first.
7.5.
A very tepid 6.
I would give it a 6. Not a tepid. I would give it a strong 6. But to me, a 6 is like for a comedy. That's kind of what I expect on IMDb when I go there.
Okay.
And if it's 6 or higher, or if I really want to see it like a 5.8, I'm going to watch it. If it's below like that 5.5,
So if you ask me on the comedy scale out of 10, I would put it more at like a 4.5, I'll be honest.
Whoa.
I thought it was it's below average.
Graders here.
It's just a below average movie, I'll be honest. Like, I think it's great seeing Adam Sandler is happy again, but like, yeah, thank you. But just most Adam Sandler comedies at this point just don't hit for me, and this one was another miss.
But I think, and I wouldn't call it a miss. I enjoyed. I laughed some. The problem is, and I'm not saying it's specific to you, but Adam Sandler made a lot of movies when he was like, I believe, like 19 to 23, and now we're 30 years later.
True.
And it's just a different sensibility. And so, and I'm not saying you haven't grown past it. So I just think that
true, but this one specific, this whole movie is just one big cameo of golfers.
Yes,
if you're not a big golf fan, I don't know if you like this movie. I'll be honest.
That is fair. I thought some of the stuff they did with Shooter was kind of clever.
That stuff was all right.
And
did they bring back most of the original cast?
On some level, some of them had passed. So there's a scene where they kind of they touch on them. Haley Joel Osment is one of the stars of this from Sixth Sense.
He was pretty good.
He was good. Yeah, he's a good actor actually. He's been in the. Was it The Boys? I believe he's in that show.
Yes, I think he was. Yeah, he was in like season 3, I want to say.
Bad Bunny is great.
Bad Bunny was the highlight of the movie. Honestly, I'll say this. Molly, you're going to hate this. Travis Kelce plays a waiter in the movie. He's pretty funny.
Yeah,
really.
Honestly, he did a pretty good job.
It's a perfect role for him.
Okay, maybe if I watch this movie, that'll actually make me like Travis.
And
Kelce.
then he did put his wife and his daughters in the movie.
He always does.
Yeah, and then John Daly was in it as great. I thought he was fun.
John Daly was the highlight of the movie by far.
Okay,
he was really good.
See, I would say that like it's not like side splitting like Happy Gilmore. Think of it like if you go into it like a family movie. Then it's like, okay, it's a family movie. It's got family laughs. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. We'll be back at it tomorrow. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
The Madison Summer Survival Kit. Cooler full of drinks, a comfy lawn chair,